Could North Korea be on the verge of a nuclear breakthrough that fundamentally alters the global power balance? What if that breakthrough is happening right now, in plain sight? Before we continue, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in U.S. politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow. We're talking about North Korea, a nation that has long been a source of global tension, and specifically, its nuclear program. Seoul, South Korea, is reporting that on Thursday, North Korea unveiled a new facility, a facility explicitly designed to produce fuel for nuclear weapons. This wasn't a quiet, behind-the-scenes operation. This was a public declaration, a show of intent from leader Kim Jong Un himself, who declared plans to bolster his country's nuclear forces at an exponential rate. Now let's unpack what that means. North Korea has been pursuing nuclear weapons for decades, a pursuit that has drawn international condemnation, sanctions, and endless rounds of diplomatic wrangling. But this new facility suggests a significant step forward in their technical capabilities. It implies they are not just stockpiling existing materials, but are actively investing in and expanding their ability to produce the fissile material, the plutonium, or highly enriched uranium, that is essential for constructing nuclear warheads. The phrase, exponential rate, is particularly alarming. It suggests a transition from incremental progress to a rapid, potentially overwhelming, surge in their nuclear capacity. This isn't just about building one or two more bombs. It implies a strategic shift, a move towards a much larger and more diversified nuclear arsenal. However, the context also brings a note of caution, or perhaps, more accurately, a lingering uncertainty. Some experts, even as this news breaks, are still questioning whether North Korea actually possesses functioning nuclear missiles that can reach the U.S. mainland. This is a crucial distinction. Having nuclear fuel is one thing. Having a reliable delivery system for those weapons is another entirely. The development of intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, that can bypass early warning systems and strike targets thousands of miles away is a massive technological hurdle. Pyongyang has conducted missile tests, some of which have claimed to reach U.S. soil, but verification and confidence in their actual operational readiness remain subjects of intense scrutiny. So what are the implications of this new facility and Kim Jong Un's aggressive pronouncements? For the United States, this is a direct challenge to national security and regional stability. The U.S. has a significant military presence in South Korea and Japan, and the prospect of a more heavily armed North Korea, with a greater capacity for nuclear coercion, raises the stakes dramatically. It could lead to an increased demand for missile defense systems, more robust joint military exercises with allies, and a renewed push for diplomatic engagement, albeit from a position of heightened concern. For South Korea, this is an existential threat. Seoul is within range of North Korea's conventional artillery, let alone its more advanced missile capabilities. This development forces South Korea to confront the reality of a nuclear-armed neighbor with increasingly ambitious plans. It could reignite debates about nuclear proliferation within South Korea itself, a nation that has the technical know-how but has historically refrained from developing its own nuclear weapons due to international agreements and U.S. security guarantees. For the international community, this is another blow to non-proliferation efforts. North Korea's continued defiance of UN Security Council resolutions and its relentless pursuit of nuclear weapons undermine the global norm against nuclear proliferation. It could embolden other states to consider developing their own nuclear capabilities if they perceive that North Korea can do so with relative impunity. The possible outcomes are varied and complex. On one hand, this could be a desperate gambit by Kim Jong Un to gain leverage in future negotiations, to force the U.S. and its allies to the table on his terms. He may believe that a stronger nuclear posture is the only way to guarantee his regime's survival and extract concessions. On the other hand, it could be a genuine acceleration of a long-term strategic goal, a move towards becoming a fully recognized nuclear power, regardless of international consequences. This development forces us to consider the limits of sanctions and diplomatic pressure. If North Korea can consistently develop its nuclear program despite years of international sanctions, it begs the question, what are the truly effective tools available to the international community? Are we entering a new phase of the Cold War? characterized by a more unpredictable and dangerous nuclear arms race. The experts are divided. The geopolitical stakes are immense, and the future remains uncertain. This isn't just about one nation's ambition. It's about the fragile balance of power in a world still grappling with the threat of nuclear annihilation. So what do you think about this? Is North Korea's nuclear program an existential threat to the U.S., or is it a bluff to gain international attention? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one. The world is watching, and the narrative around nuclear power is once again shifting, with North Korea at its center.